So welcome back to Level Up TV. We're on map 2, Skywalkers versus Sitto. A match of ClanBase EuroCup 26. Me just review before. Let's quickly have a read of the teams again. Nunk, Bugatti, LaForge and Piers for Sky. And for Sitto we got Q50, Dibby, Zyrinx and Dimitri. For the first map, Hidden Fortress, it was Sitto's map selection. They dominated it, it's fair to say.
Yeah, no real way of putting it other than that, really.
Skywalker's picking Limbus. I mean, to me, this map is probably the most similar in terms of speed of play to the Fortress of any other map in the pool, so is that a wise selection?
Well, people say Sitto haven't been practicing, this is a new map. Have they had much time to play this? I guess we'll find out whether or not that's a good way of looking at it.
Zyrinx's movement around the map suggests he knows it.
Well, it's not the most complicated of maps. It's played at a pace that Sitto will probably enjoy. It's got great rail positions that someone like Zyrinx will make great use of, no doubt.
Following Zyrinx off the start then. Teammate Q50 stealing that shotgun right in front of him. Might get a plasma out of this one though. That's excellent plasma. Really very nice. Missed out on the 25 behind him, so maybe not 100% awareness at the moment for some of these players on this map. Lightning gun's falling right by the squad damage. That's a nice pummel play by Zyrinx, rewarding himself with that yellow armor. Now the lightning gun could do with that 15 yard, just picks up. Oh, does just get the frag. There's that tempting 25, but here's the first squad of the map in the hands of Dibby. Bluffing out that back route, and now can move across the middle. Now on this map we can see massive frag counts, but I mean usually the first quad on any map is not the most effective.
Doesn't have any armor. He's got a shotgun, which is a nice weapon if he can get close, but he's being cautious because obviously he doesn't want to take an easy rail.
Ooh, pretty unfortunate jumping right into that rocket, but he's dodging before. That was really excellent. His positional placement. In 10 health, decides to grab himself that rail.
Yeah, that's 2 rails they just picked up. One off the spawn and one off the drop player, and it's dangerous. So having that many rails in Sitto's hands, it's not a good position to be in.
On this map, we've only seen it a couple of times in competitive play. It's brand new for the season. I mean, what kind of tactics are we seeing the teams employ? What are the things that are working, and what are the things maybe teams should avoid?
Well, most teams seem to be favouring positioning themselves at the red. It's obviously valuable because it's the red armour, but it's right by the rail as well. There's so many different rail angles you can take that are easily accessible from the red armour. You can go high and overlook the quad and the lightning gun, which is obviously a nice position to have because you can see when the lightning gun's up, you can hit anyone who's trying to take it, and if there's an opportunity you can get in there and take it yourself.
Yeah, in a very good position at the moment. Well, he's run down his mega, but he has a lightning gun to his name. He was in the quad area, although it was a little bit early. It's not the kind of area you would really go and lock down that early, because it's just so open.
No, but it does have yellow armour and lightning gun in there, which you do need.
But yeah, taking a very interesting evasion route, as Zyrinx rewards himself with not only the lightning gun for the frag, but the mega, and now the yellow armour. 4 seconds to go before the power up. Looks like he's going to be the guy to grab that. One quick frag, second frag as well, but there's all around him. That's actually a surprising position to get killed from.
Yeah, but good job by Sky. I was worried for a moment that they didn't have enough of them at quad. It looked like they weren't going to be able to kill Zyrinx, because if he'd have got out clean, he had a good stack, good weapons, could have been a big quad run. But good pressure on the quad by Sky. Even though they don't come away with it, the fact that they killed it keeps the game close.
It's only a 2 frag game, in fact, as we follow Q50.
They just need to maintain this good start, Sky. They're taking the megas, they're taking reds at this stage as well, so no doubt they're getting some weapons as well. They just need to maintain this. Don't make any mistakes, because it was some big mistakes on Hidden Fortress that ended up with them being merciless.
Forge managed to grab that lightning gun that was dropped by Q50. Didn't work out too well at all, as he picked up a frag straight away with it on Sitto opponent.
This is positive from the Forge. Now he's moved all the way around the map.
That upper position is one of the spots you really want to hold in this map, where Dibby was now. He takes a risk just jumping against the LG, but they do come out with a red as a result in the hands of Dimitri. But that upper position, very strong position to hold, the interconnector between the upper level of the quad and the red armor.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got so much warning as well of whether you're going to be attacked in that position. You'll know if there's people going to be coming from the quad to attack you, because you'll hear them, you'll hear the teleporter. And obviously you can see everything happening in the red room, and it's hard to be killed when you stood up there.
Dimitri might be a little bit late for this quad. It's 5 seconds time. He does have a rail for the exit shot, but it looks like the rest of his team has locked it down anyway. Q50 coming out with that. He's got maybe the remnants of a mega to his name. Probably is. A little bit of armor, which he lost straight away, but picks up one frag already with a lightning gun. Plenty of ammo. Can now move out with his shotgun to his name as well, and a rocket in his arsenal. Gali just grabbing that red right in front of him. A couple of frags by Q50. Is he going to go aggressive? Oh, good rail. Nice rail, Vor.
It definitely was a nice rail.
Nice
and
rail.
That was the first mistake that Sky made. That was them allowing Sitto a completely unpressured, clean pickup of the quad, and we saw Q50, he didn't have much to his name. If they'd have put the same kind of pressure they put on the first quad, he'd have been killed easily.
It feels like what we're learning this season is there's not that much of a difference between all the teams, but when it comes up to power-up play, that is the defining element. So far, Sitto have had good power-up play on all the maps we've seen tonight.
Yeah, every map they've performed exceptionally well with power-ups.
Skywalkers just a little bit too weak, and it's causing them trouble. This is not just the setup of the quad. Well,
they had a good start to this game, and it has been completely cancelled out by the fact that they gave away that last quad for free. No pressure, you cannot afford to do that.
Excellent rockets by Piers. He has a rail to his name now as well. 5 seconds to go before the red is just below it. He's going to have to go around on the staircase, jump across. It's a vulnerable position, that red. I like the way it's placed there. And then straight back to the rail, which he presumably knows the time of because he got the last one.
Took a lot of damage there just to kill a machine gunner.
5 seconds to go before the quad. Oh, I should have probably stayed with the rockets. Got two players there. Dibby, he grabs that quad and moving out to this yellow armor. The upper yellow.
Again, it was just far too easy for Dibby to get out with that quad. He had one player to kill on his exit. The rest of his team were just keeping Sky miles away from that quad.
Second frag is back at quad. He's gone around the whole map. The whole circumference of the map. He's navigated it and hardly see a Sky player in sight. They're just running around. They're in trouble from what we can see. Though they do have a lightning gunner there. To take a heavy first shot up again.
2 frags in 2 seconds. Excellent.
Still vulnerable, but getting the 2 frags. There's quite a decent amount of health on this map, Vor, from what I've seen.
Yeah, particularly compared with the last map. Last map we just watched, Hidden Fortress. Not much health there, but by comparison, this map certainly does have a lot. Which means, the situations you'll see on Hidden Fortress where someone puts out a lot of damage before they die, they're not as effective on this map because there's so many items available to resupply yourself.
Yeah, there's less benefit in going suicidal and someone bringing them down such low health when they can just help off again and come straight back at you off the spawn. So you're gonna have to be. It's gonna be more like a standard map play in some senses. 20 seconds before the quad Q50 standing around like it's gonna spawn in 2.
Well, there's no pressure on him. I mean, normally we'd be seeing teams taking up positions if they're not in the quad room to be able to spam rockets onto the pickup point, get into positions to hit rails, but on the last couple of quads we just haven't seen that.
Q50 going to try and secure this upper area. It's a wise choice as Dibby is the quad carrier on this occasion.
Yeah, it was perfect by Q50. He made the move towards the Railer, and that meant Railer had no chance of making a shot at the quad pickup.
Two quick successive frags there for Dibby as he waits for this red armor, and he's looking tanked. 100, shotgun, lightning gun. 4th frag on the board there. Let's make that a 5th. Desperately trying to get the last one with an impossible rocket shot, but wow, nice rocket on Nunk. He probably should have escaped. That is one thing you've got to make sure you do, not just give away easy frags.
Yeah, make it hard to. Particularly if it's a power up, you know, make it hard for the power up to kill you, because all the time you can waste making a power up, you know, spend time killing you is, you know, less time the power up has to kill your teammates.
One of the differences often between the top players and the players just a little bit lower are the speed at which they kill people, their efficiency.
Well, remember when we used to have the stats available, the leaderboard stats on Quake Live, we used to see how much damage people take per death, which was always interesting to look at in TDM.
Clearly we don't have those statistics to review nowadays.
Impressive.
That's a good play by Dibby. I mean, he's moved out there, he's done a lot of damage in this spawn cycle. 15 seconds before quad, he might not be in a great position for it at the moment. He's got too much health. He's got to be cautious here as well, but decent dodging. Does get caught out eventually by Nunk, but well, he's the wrong side of the map for the quad. I'm going to switch away. Q50 standing pretty much on the quad. Well, decides to do a runner away from it right as it was going to spawn, weirdly. Well, that's a bit of a mess up.
Only 2 players though from Sky putting the pressure on, but look, it almost caused the quad's death. What would the difference be if the whole team was there?
Well, we might come out with the quad.
Maybe, or at least the quad would have been dead. And,
oh,
wow.
LaForge perfectly placed rocket. Quad
impressive.
Straight flying into it. Means the power up is no longer a threat on the map. So I mean, you're behind at this stage, Skywalkers. What are you going to change to the tactics to bring this one back? It's still time. It's quite a big difference, but it's not unassailable, especially on a fast-paced map like this. What do you change?
Be there at the quad. I mean, that's one of the main reasons they're so far behind, is the advantage that Sitto have been able to take from the quads. You know, the quads lead to kills, which lead to spawn kills, and you know, we're looking at a difference of, you know, almost 34 frags.
It's a massive difference. I mean, it's 6-0 on the quads, but look at the other stats. They're actually ahead on reds, ahead on yellows.
Exactly,
Equal
that's
on
what I mean.
yellows, and ahead on megas, significantly
On the first power up, they were there as a team, and they killed it. You know, they killed the pickup because there was just shots coming in from all angles. The quad is so open, and since then, it's been relatively easy for Sitto to take every quad. I mean, is where the difference in this game is so far.
You can kind of tell that Sitto aren't quite as comfortable on this map as they were on the previous one. They don't look as strong. I mean, they're getting out pick-upped, and they're doing a very good job on the power-ups, which is, as we highlight, probably the most important thing you can do at TDM. But that could be easily turned around by Skywalkers. If you're getting more of the pickups, you should have an advantage in the fights over the power-up area.
Well, exactly, and they're not making use of that.
So the timing that Sitto are getting the items is pretty effective. These power attacks. Look at this. Bugatti, excellent defensive position, but he's just dropped off slightly the wrong time. Nunks comes in, grabs it. He's got to be cautious. Go back for the 50 maybe. He takes actually, I guess, a safer route down for the 25s. Oh my god, how aggressive was that? Zyrinx. Just exterminating that quad before it could really do anything.
Yeah, but at least this time Sky managed to pick up their first quad of the game. The difference that time was they committed more players to it. And it was a messy pick-up because, you know, they didn't have full control of the area, but you know, you've got to be in it to win it. Classic saying, it applies. They weren't in any of the last quads.
And they picked up a lot of frags before the quad pickup, so they made a bit of a comeback on that. So
Yeah, it's back down to 30 frags. It was in the mid-30s before the difference, so you know they've closed it in slightly. I mean, think how different this game would be if they just didn't give away the quad so easily.
Zyrings. And Renamus, whose name went back to the next pickup and missed out on it. Yeah, good use of the shotgun we've seen this last minute. Also an excellent rail shot.
Headshot rail.
Headshot. Should really have sound effects like that in this.
Yeah, it adds to the fun.
32 frags is the margin. We've got 3 sets of quads left to spawn. Quads not really sets of.
And, you know, if Sky would come away with a clean pickup of each quad, you know, that would be enough to close the gap potentially, but I don't see Sitto ever going to allow a clean pickup, you know, like we saw Sky allow earlier in this game. So that'll be so difficult to bring back now.
2 hits. Impressive.
From Pigatti 2 seconds before the quad. Look at that push by Dimitri. That's brilliant by Dimitri.
Yeah, the timing looks perfect. He pushes away the railer as we saw Q50 doing earlier in a different position. And that means there's no chance to make the shot on the quad pickup.
Oh my god, no one had a rail all along. I don't think Zyrix expected that with the quad.
Good grenading. Nearly kills himself though.
It was a really great move by Dimitri, and you can't ever say, oh, I haven't got a gun, I can't do anything when you see that, for example. He didn't need to hit a single bit of gauntlet there, he just needed to push them away.
Yeah, he just panicked them. They made them move away. They could no longer line up shots on the quad. What is Nut doing? He's going like Prozac mode, hitting all these direct grenades.
Well, that's the way to play, if you can hit them.
Definitely.
Another rocket launch in your hands, haven't you? Missing these rails though. I think he paid a heavy price for missing those rails. He missed one a little bit earlier on Zyrix. Zyrix was able to drop down on that red pretty cleanly.
There definitely was some rails you need to hit as well. I mean, it's acceptable to miss rails when you've got pressure on you, people shooting you, but you know, his teammate was the one tanking the damage, and he was just missing his shot with no pressure on him.
See Zyrix under damage, under pressure there, was still dealing out damage, hitting his rail shots.
Of course, that's what makes him such an effective player. Is you know, even when he's in a disadvantageous situation, he can still put out good damage.
Forge 4 health to his name before Zyrix just rushing up the bounce pad against him. Rocket launcher in hand. 20 seconds before the penultimate quad of this map. Do you think? I mean, you know, it's not like a massive difference. They could
Not beyond the realms of possibility, but it's just highly unlikely.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
But hey, if it was to happen, we'd be witnessing something pretty special.
There we go, Bugatti. He's going to start this. He's got a very nice stack to start off with. He decides to go for that yellow before going back down to take out Dimitri pretty quick, sharpish, and now he's got himself a mega health.
Just taking damage from behind it, and that can't have all been Dimitri's damage, surely.
Red armor though will make up for that one. He just needs to go aggressive and really pick up a lot of frags in short succession. Come on.
Yeah, it's all about knowing the routes though, because this is still a relatively new map. You know, not everyone is going to be fully aware of the optimal routes to run the quad, and you know, there are a lot. Even though this is a small map, there's still a lot of route choices to be made.
Yeah, he didn't get very lucky in terms of meeting players there, did he? He got items.
No, because I mean we've seen quad runs from people like Pavel, and you know we've seen just constantly people spawning in his path. And that's the kind of luck you need when you're looking to turn a game around like this.
The damage that Q50 dealt out Pigatti then was pretty devastating. Bear in mind, Pigatti on his run got a yellow, he got a mega and a red. Didn't really meet anybody, and then Q50 came along and brought him down to 40 health.
And it's just a terrible feeling when one player can do that to you. Because you know, you see yourself with all this armor, you think I can take on multiple players, but then it's just one player pretty much finishes you off.
You think you're Leroy Jenkins?
Exactly.
30 frags is the margin. It's remained pretty static for this last couple of minutes. 25 seconds before the final quad.
And Zyrix isn't going to be concerned about giving that rail away. I mean, he knows there's no danger.
He's got his grenades.
But he's not as effective as Nunk with the grenades.
No, he's going to have to do some practice there. Nunk's got himself a nice stack here. They could be in quite well on this quad. They got
Yep.
all 4 of them went there. 2 of them remain. Well,
Knock me down on the back.
that's when you're not quite sure of the time of quad. You end up standing on the spot and exposing yourself. Only 4 health. 4 per
Exactly.
game.
I mean, much like DM6, it's just not a quad you want to stand on. It's one of those ones you want to be on the spot when it spawns and then away as quick as you can.
Okay, catching out Dibby. Excellent play there. Kept the hum of his lightning gun in its holster.
Concealed from enemy ears.
It's been quite a different story, this second match.
Yeah, far more competitive, and were it not for the difference in quads, we would have seen a much closer game here. No doubt about it, because Sky, they had better red armor control, they had more megas, slightly less yellows, but you know, you can't win on every item, surely.
If you lose the map.
Exactly. But the key has been the quad, and Sitto's quad play, both in this game and the other game we've seen tonight, has been more than impressive. Certainly not really seeing any signs of the rust that we were led to believe could be present.
Blue wins.
Let's check these stats before they dive off the server. Well,
Dyric's top damage again. No surprises there, I guess. He had about 8.7k damage.
Pretty
But good
high.
performance from Sitto. I mean, I can't imagine they'd, you know, if we are to believe them when they say they haven't been practicing much, I can't imagine this map is one they've had the chance to play, you know, as much as they would have liked. So, impressive performance. As it has been in all their games tonight.
Impressive indeed. Now stay tuned, everybody. We do have one more game this evening.
Good.
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 Because
Good.
we want more games, right?
Yeah. Gentleman Club versus